This is Marcus Corval with Studio MMA and MMA Nuts, and we're here with the head coach for Alliance, Eric Del Fiero. How you feeling?
It's not bad. Del Fiero. You almost had it right the first time.
Almost right, huh?
It's not bad for having an accent.
Yeah, where is it from?
I'm from Mexico. It comes from Mexican descent.
¿Eres mexicano entonces?
Mexicano.
¿De dónde?
100%. De Tamaulipas, Mexico.
Pura raza.
Pura raza.
So I presume you started with a boxing background?
That's correct. Actually, I started with a kickboxing background. From originally, I take that back. Originally, it was a Kempo karate, and I started kickboxing and boxing at the same time with a coach from Tijuana, Mexico, Miguel Reyes.
Here in San Diego?
In San Diego, correct. And I'd go back and forth to Tijuana to train with him as well.
And not anymore, right? No, you're not.
No, he's still my coach. He comes around every now and then whenever he can. He owns an academy down there in Tijuana, Mexico, and we stay affiliated. He comes, helps me out with some of my fighters every now and then. So.
You still go down there? It's not the safest of places right now.
I don't go down there too often anymore. I'm just too busy. But I mean, it's Mexico. You stay out of the trouble spots, you'll be fine.
We saw Alliance and yourself and your fighters. Obviously, you've gotten recognition inside of the cage, but at the MMA Awards, you really got a lot of recognition there as well. What was it, 8 awards in total?
Actually, we got no awards. We got 7 nominations.
Sorry, 7 nominations. 7 nominations.
7 nominations.
Gym of the Year, Fighter of the Year, International Fighter of the Year. What other ones?
Submission of the Year, Submission of the Year, Phil Davis. Fight of the Year, Dominic Cruz and Faber. I think that's it, right? I don't know how many that adds up.
It was 5.
Really? I don't remember. Yeah, but we had a lot of nominations. It was a good year. We had a good run this past year.
What does Alliance do differently from other gyms and other fighters?
I don't think we do anything different, but we do have a big emphasis on teamwork. We have a lot of guys that bring a lot of different tools to the table, and we're just an open team, and we share ideas and try to be creative and get these guys to the next level, help them succeed. There's a lot of tough teams out there. There's a lot of talented fighters, and we're doing the right things, and we've had a good streak. And
we see a bond there between Sweden and the US, between Stockholm Shoots and Alliance. How did that came to be, and did it come natural?
After Alex and Phil Davis fought in Abu Dhabi, that's where we met Alex, and we invited him to come out and train. We knew he was talented, and actually Alex's coach, Andreas, got a hold of me, and we started talking, developed a relationship, and decided maybe we were going to help Alex in his next fight. I think it was Cyril Dibati was the fight, the first time they came out, and we had a great camp, and he was a great addition. The coach Andreas came out with him, and coach was just amazing. The amount of knowledge and talent he brings to the table has helped all our fighters, all our team. So it's been fun.
And we were just talking with Alex about this as well, and we see a lot of international fighters, especially. A lot of times they come with great striking ability, but the one thing that, especially Northern Europe, lacks a lot is the wrestling. There are exceptions, obviously. We have a Swedish newcomer to the UFC, and Reza Madadi, who's got great wrestling, but very common that they lack the wrestling. How big is the influence of wrestling, especially inside of a cage?
Oh, it's big. It's having the ability to dictate where the fight goes, whether we keep it standing, and having the option to take it to the ground. It really rounds out the game of the fighter. Sometimes when we're stuck on one dimension, we can't change up the fight mid fight. We having the ability to wrestle and have striking, we can change the direction of the fight wherever we want it. We can dictate if we want to keep it standing or we can take it to the ground. So it's a huge part of the game.
And I've seen the guys interact, and we see it right now actually how Alexander Gustafsson is messing with our cameraman right now behind the camera and now punching him, which is good. I like that actually. And I saw you here today. I was working with you guys as conditioning coach. You guys have a good time together.
You have to. You spend way too much time with other guys. It gets boring. You know what I mean? It gets confusing. So you gotta keep the fun going and make the training sessions entertaining. If not, you're gonna go crazy. A lot of guys beating up on each other, so we got to keep it fun,
And San Diego has become somewhat of a home for a lot of talent when it comes to MMA. We see Alliance, we have Arena here, we have a big Strikeforce card over the weekend. What is it about San Diego?
Maybe the weather. We have great weather. I mean, we pretty much stay sun's out year round, stays about 75 degrees. Can't complain. You know what I mean? You go to Sweden, it's freezing right now. So I think those guys just want to get a break. You know, I don't think the training's any different. I think they just want to get out of the cold, get some sunshine.
Absolutely, it's been a beautiful day here today, and we at the same time we see a lot of talent coming out of Canada. We were actually talking about it, and we were saying the reason why they have so much talent is because they have absolutely nothing else to do. They can just all they can do is train, really. But we see a lot of talent, San Diego, West Coast in general, in California, not to rule out any other areas of the US, but especially around here. And it's interesting, especially since California got licensed in mixed martial arts as late as they did, and the amateur program getting licensed only, what, 2 years ago. How big is the amateur scene here at Alliance, and how do you feel that's influencing the professional mixed martial arts scene as well?
The amateur scene as a gym, it's always part of how we develop fighters. I think California is a little behind the curve when it comes to amateur system. I don't know if the guys are getting the experience they should be getting in the amateur. I think Nevada Commission has a great hold on the way they're running their amateur systems. I like the time limits. I like the rules. California Commission, I'm not too fond of the way they're running the amateur system, and that's just me. I mean, some guys like it. I just think 2-minute rounds isn't giving the guys the experience that they need, you know. And I think we'll all catch up, and hopefully nationwide will become uniform, where amateur is the same nationwide, and you know, as it is with the pros. But I have my opinions on how it should be ran, but I'm not the one doing it. So at least we have an amateur system, so I can't complain too much.
Do you train the amateurs as well here?
Yeah, they train with the pro team. We have a system where we bring them up, and when they're ready to train with the higher level athletes, we bring them in and allow them to train and mix it in together. But again, fighting a 5-minute per round fight is a lot different than fighting 3 2-minute rounds. So it's a lot of different tactics in place. You know?
Do you have like some kind of initiation with these amateurs when they come into the pro team, where you beat the crap out of them, or put Ty Lindemann in the underwear or anything like that?
No. I mean, I don't do that as a coach. I mean, we run it pretty professional, but I'm sure the pro guys let them know what the difference is. You know, I'm sure they let them know. There's been a couple of guys drug out of the cage by you know, after getting beat up a little bit, but that's how you know if you belong pro or not. You know.
And you've got Alex Gustafsson here, and that's you working, you and Andrea. So I saw you guys working him today, and you're definitely pushing him hard. What do you see in Alex?
Determination. The kid is determined to go out there and show what he can do. I mean, the kid's a talent. He's a very, very talented kid. Loves to train, and looks forward to fighting. You know, he actually likes to go in there and hurt people. So it's fun. He's a fun guy to coach.
Do you think he has what it takes to become a champion?
For sure. He's got all the tools. You know what I mean? And he just gets better every time. Every fight, you see a new Alex, a new style he brings to the table, and you know. I think within a year, you'll see him in the top 5 for sure.
So a year from now, end of 2012, we'll sit here again, and Alex is about to face John Jones. What does Alex need to do in order to beat John Jones? What does anyone need to do to beat John Jones?
I think what we need to do is beat Vladimir Matryenko first. And as a coach, I never look past any opponent. So I think we have our fight cut out for us with that guy. And when we get to Jones, we'll figure it out.
Good answer. Fair enough. We'll leave that one alone. Dominic Cruz is fighting Uriah Faber next, again, for a 3rd time. Uriah looked great against Ryan Bowles. I stopped him. I predicted it to be a very tougher fight for Uriah. But it's MMA. You get caught, you get caught. Did you see anything different in Uriah? I'm sure you watched the fight.
No, it's the same Uriah. Same Uriah. He's a talent. The kid's very, very talented kid. But it's the same Uriah that was there a year ago, the same Uriah that was there 2 years ago. And he you know, he's a tough kid. He brings this tough style, and you know, normal Uriah drives forward on everybody. Uriah against Dominic just doesn't do the same. He was too cautious the first fight, and it cost him the fight. You know, we'll see what he brings to the table the second time around.
And there was some talk back and forth, both on Twitter, YouTube. Is it a hype? Is it promotion? They're both businessmen at the end of the day as well, or is it really some bad blood there?
It's pretty obvious. I mean, the guys will never be best friends. You know,
you don't think?
No, I think they do. I think they respect each other's fighting ability, but they'll never be best friends.
Not even 10 years from now, when it's all said and done.
Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? Those guys, Who knows why they don't dislike each other? You know, and I've never seen Dominic hate or dislike anybody.
Right.
And, but those guys just, I don't think they'll just ever get along. You know.
You have a stable of very well-known fighters from Phil Davis, Alexander Gustafsson, Dominic Cruz, Brandon Vera. Name one fighter that we haven't heard of yet, and we will see within whether it be 1 year or 5 years from now. From Alliance.
If I do that, a lot of people will get their feelings hurt. So I'd rather not. I'll let those guys develop the way they're supposed to develop and not put any weird pressure on them to deliver. They'll graduate the way they're going to graduate, and I don't want to put any undue pressure as a coach on them.
You're a very diplomatic man.
You have to be, because the media's try to get weird stuff out of you.
What about pros that are fighting right now that's up and coming? A couple of names that we will see in 2012.
Alexander Gustafsson, Ross Pearson, Dominic Cruz, Phil Davis, Joey Beltran. We got some talent. We got some guys just loving to fight. You know, Brandon Vera will be back soon, so it should be a fun year for us.
Look,
Ross Pearson's making his debut at 145 on the same card as Alex, so it should be interesting to see what he brings to the table at 145. That's a tough division. Very
tough division, and he was doing very, very well at 155. And a lot of times we see fighters drop from 55 to, or not from 55 to 45 specifically, but we see them drop weight after a loss. He's doing really, really well in 55. Was it something that he decided himself, or was it something that you guys decided as a team?
I think it was something he was already contemplating before his last fight, and you know, he had tossed around the idea, and just looking at the possible matchups and, you know, where he could progress after a couple of fights, I think he just wanted to give it a try. He don't want to go back a couple of years from now and decide, well, maybe I should have tried the 145 division. So he's looking forward to competing at 145.
Has he done a test cut yet? Does it seem like it's going to be easy for him?
Before he actually even booked a fight or decided to book a fight, he did a test cut here with us and made the weight no problem.
One last question for you. Phil Davis and Alex have spent a lot of time together. What if they have to fight again?
It'll be a fun fight.
Look at him with his diplomatic answers. I love it.
No,
very professional.
We know what happens here in the cage. The coaches know what happens in the cage, and we know what we have to do. I hope that day comes again. Those guys are both tough guys, and it's just exciting.
You would like to see them fight again?
I'd love for both guys to fight for the belt. It'd be amazing. Those guys are just the talent. They push each other so much. I mean, they'll bring out the best in each other.
We've seen some YouTube videos. They're competing in everything from rowing to, and it seems like it's fun and games all the time. But is that in the back of their minds, do you think, or even in your minds as coaches? There is a possibility, especially as the higher up they go, the hierarchy, the smaller the pool of talent gets, and the chance of them facing each other again gets bigger.
No, I realistically don't think that far ahead. We think about the opponents at hand. Phil's got Rashad. It's a tough fight. Alex has Vladi, was a seasoned vet that brings a lot to the table, probably Alex's toughest matchup to date. So realistically, these guys have a lot to worry about as where they're at right now. You know what I mean? I don't put undue pressure on them, and I don't look that far ahead. You know, we look per fight, and, you know, God willing, everything goes well for these guys. We just keep progressing. That day comes, great. If it doesn't, great too. You know, it is what it is. So we're looking forward to it.
Do you see any differences in the cage today between them when they're working together versus the fight?
Yeah, they're both getting better. They both just keep getting better.
Learning from each other?
Yeah, Alex's wrestling's just top notch. He's coming along quickly, and Phil's striking's coming along quickly. So we're looking good. We're looking good. They're really a good asset to each other.
Eric, we look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas on December 30th and 2012 as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.